Hi, everybody, from First Energy Stadium. It goes to the Eagles in preseason game number 2 by a point, 21-20, the final score. The story coming into game 2 of the preseason for the Browns was, who are you comfortable with as your backup quarterback? They're both named Josh, but would it be Dobbs or would it be Rosen? Josh Dobbs got the start, played into the second half, and just like he did the week before in Jacksonville, he played very, very well. He moved the team. He did it with his own athletic prowess, his legs. He ran well. He ran 4 times for 47 yards and a touchdown. He threw the ball well for over 140 yards in the game. He was accurate. His decisions were good. It was really a carbon copy of what he had done last week. That's 2 good weeks in a row for Josh Dobbs. He makes a strong case for himself for the Browns to be comfortable with him as their backup quarterback, with Jacoby Brissett being the quarterback that will start the season and play a lot of this season after the Deshaun Watson suspension from middle of the week. Now, Josh Rosen was a different story. Didn't play much in Jacksonville, played a little bit more in this game. He was accurate at the start of his play on this Sunday afternoon, but as the game wore on, it was either him really getting a little bit wild throwing the football, or the young Browns receivers maybe not running the right routes or the depth of the routes, but the wheels came off late in the game. After all, the Browns were down by a point and really had 3 possessions late in the game to drive down the field and get a good drive going. They got one into Eagles territory, but each time they got there, they couldn't move the ball even close enough to attempt a field goal. And remember, they have a guy that can connect a long way away in the field goal department. So Rosen really had kind of a strange game, not a great game for him to put in front of the Browns coaches and say, I'm good enough to be the backup quarterback for this team. Experience-wise, he's got much more than Josh Dobbs. But you can see that Dobbs is much more comfortable with the Browns receivers and in the Browns offense. Why is that? Well, he's been here all spring. He was there for OTAs, mandatory minicamp, and he's been in training camp, of course, and now he's paying dividends with all of that experience. He's fitting well inside the Browns offense, and the Kevin Stefanski offense really fits Dobbs well. Short throws, timing throws, allowing him to roll out. He's very, very athletic, and he can keep the ball, get first downs with his own legs. So Dobbs looks very, very good. Still a very tricky question, though. With Jacoby Brissett as your starter, and a team that is expected to be very, very competitive in the division and in the AFC, are those 2 guys good enough to be a backup quarterback? In other words, remember, like every starting quarterback, you're only 1 hit away from having to go to the backup. Are you comfortable putting Dobbs in there to play a number of weeks if Brissett went down injury? Or what about Rosen, who hasn't had much success since being the 10th overall pick coming out of UCLA going to Arizona? He's been with 6 teams in his NFL career already. Or do the Browns continue to look out on the landscape and see who's available at quarterback? That's to be decided. Now, the other areas, kicking game, very strong. The rookie from LSU, Cade York, went 2 for 3. His miss was from 55 yards. It was not short. He banged it off the right upright. He almost took the upright down. That's how powerful this kid's leg is. So he is fine, and he'll become a very big weapon in tight games for the Browns. He'll become probably the most important rookie in their rookie class, because games might be decided on his leg and his foot, and that's fine with the way he's handling things so far. The running game is sensational. The Browns are loaded at running back. If they want to make a trade to try and get another wide receiver or perhaps a backup quarterback, they would have to look inside that running back room and say, we've got too much talent here that we can really use. I mean, you have Chubb and you have Hunt. Dearness Johnson played very well against the Philadelphia Eagles. John Kelly ran for 65 yards and a touchdown in the game. And I know he had a fumble, but it was an effort fumble where the ball just got punched out on a 4th down play that he fought to get the first down until that ball came loose. And really, then you have the young rookie Jerome Ford, who was as good Sunday as he was last week in Jacksonville. They're loaded at running back. They really have too much talent there. They could make a move. I'm surprised teams aren't calling them and saying, hey, how about trading for one of your running backs? Now, I wouldn't worry too much about the Browns defense because there wasn't a starter near the field on Sunday. So all of those 3rd down conversions by the Philadelphia Eagles, consider who was out there. It's a big week coming up, because it's the final preseason game, but it's Jacoby Brissett week. The Chicago Bears coming into town next Saturday night. Brissett will finally play. He is at that point where he's getting all of the practice reps with the number one team, and that's important now because he is the starter for the long term, it appears, getting ready for the opening game in Carolina on September 11th. That's coming up Saturday night. How much he will play, how long he will play, who will play with him, that's to be decided as the week goes along. So sure, they lose by 1 point. No problem, though. The Browns lose to the Eagles 21-20 to go to 1-1 in the preseason with one more dress rehearsal coming up next Saturday night, and then Baker Mayfield and the Panthers to open the season. From First Energy Stadium, I'm Jim Donovan for WKYC.com.